Okay, I didn't really record an intro for this at all, but I'm just gonna hop right in to the tutorial. If you hear any birds or chirping or bugs, it's because I'm outside tanning, but what better time to do a voiceover than in nature? But anyways, for Gel X, I start by shaping my nails with a nail file. It doesn't really matter the shape, just whatever you prefer. And then I grab this nail bit, and I specifically use this one just to get my cuticles like from my natural nail, and it lifts them. I don't have the expensive nail bit that I can choose the RPM, so I don't really know what RPMs I'm using, but I try to go as low as I can to not damage my natural nail. But you can see my cuticles lifting and all that dead skin, which is the goal. And I usually go around the cuticle like you can see, and it just really helps. Once I've done that, I grab my circular nail bit and I go back over, and I don't really know if this is correct, but it just helps the cuticle to be pushed back even more, and it makes it much easier to cut off all of the dead skin. So I just do that on all of my nails after I use the pointed bit. Grab a little bit thicker of a pointed bit and I just go back one more time to get all of the dead skin off of the nail. Once I've done that, I'm gonna go and grab my cuticle nipper and then just cut away all of the cuticles. This part, I don't really have a method. I know there's correct ways, but I just go around and cut it, and I try to not cut anything deeper, and just because obviously you don't want to nip yourself. Next, I just kind of go back again with the circular nail bit and just drill around the nail again. I just find that this makes my nails last longer. At least when I started doing it, they lasted much longer. So I just do that, and then after I grab just the regular drill and just file off all of the natural shine to my nails. So your nails shouldn't be very shiny, but you just want to get all that oil and everything so the gel can stick to your nail. But obviously you don't want to drill too much because it can deeply damage your nails. So again, you just take off the shine. And using that same drill bit, I just go around my cuticles one more time. I find this pushes it back just a little bit more. And then that's mostly like all the prep that I do for my cuticles. Sometimes I'll take the cuticle like removal liquid stuff, but I've started not doing that and I haven't really found a difference. But I also get an alcohol wipe and just wipe off all my nails of the dead skin cells with rubbing alcohol, and this just really helps there not to be anything on your nails once you put the nail glue on it. Then I just grab my Gel X tips, and this part's somewhat self-explanatory. You just want to find the right size for your nail. You don't want it to be too small, but also you don't want it to be too big. But if it is too big, you can always easily just file it down. So I would rather go bigger than smaller. And then you just want to file down the shine from the plastic so it's a little bit rough, and it just makes the nail stick onto your natural nail much easier, and it'll last so much longer whenever you buff it. So I just do that to every nail tip, and then once I've done that, I go ahead and I grab my dehydrator and I put dehydrator on all my nails first, and then after that I put my primer You don't want to put too much primer or your nails will pop off, so I literally try to do the least amount possible, but this just helps with the prep and your nails lasting much longer. Then afterward, I just grab my nail glue and I paint that on all of my nails. If you get anything on your actual skin, you can just use acetone to wipe it off, but just be careful not to because you can get contact dermatitis. And then once you've put it on, just put it under the UV light for 60 seconds and set that, and it should look like this. For this part, it's sort of hard to explain, but I just use the glue and I coat my whole tip with it, and then I paint the very bottom just with a glob, and then I start from the bottom and I push all the gel to the top, if that makes sense. You can see in the video, and it's hard to explain, but you don't want to put too much, but you also don't want to put too little. So the perfect amount, as long as it just doesn't overflow, and if it does, you can easily just wipe it off with acetone before you set it under the lamp. That part was really fast, but hopefully it made sense. And then once I set it for the whole 90 seconds. I just use my nail bit and I go back in with the pointed one and I just set it in and I try to get it against my cuticles and just to remove any excess gel that could have dried, but also forming the nail tip to my actual nail bed. So I just do that for every single nail, and I just go around the nail and file, and I just find this step to be really, really important. When I did this, I noticed my nails lasting so much longer, so I definitely recommend using this one, but also this tip, and just buffing all of the shine off of the nail tip. It really helps make the nails last longer. I'm going to keep saying it, but it does. And then I also use this same bit to go around my cuticle, just setting it. Then this step is literally crucial. I use this 100% acetone, and I use this brush and I set my cuticle or the nail onto my cuticle around it. And acetone melts plastic, so it melts it to your nail, which sounds dangerous, but it just makes it last longer and stick to the nail much better. And you can literally see I accidentally poured a little bit of acetone on this white plastic thing and it literally melted. So then once I've done that, I just shape everything. Your desired shape really depends on the way you want to go about filing and cutting, but I just filed all of the nails because I wanted my nails to be really long, so I didn't use a nail clipper or anything, and I just wanted to go for an almond shape. But that's pretty much it, honestly, for the prep.
Big there. Okay, you're in charge of